going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. This is for entertainment purposes only. I might be wrong. On the whole. The last video I said, man, I do not think that the US government is going to revalue gold. I just don't. Because if you look back at the last time they did this, they came and confiscated it from us. And then they did it. And I started to realize, okay, so if every person in the United States, they're all up on their shit, right? They know what's going on. If every single person throughout the entire United States all takes their money and pulls it out of the system and invests it into assets that protect themselves from what the government is doing, the government wouldn't be able to do what they're trying to do, which is inflate the debt away. So they start doing other crazy shit like capital controls and this, and confiscating the gold, which they didn't go knocking on doors or anything, but... And then you look at Scott Bassani, he's like, yeah, no, we're not gonna do that. But it's almost like as if they say one thing, do the other. Say one thing, do the other. You look at like BlackRock, they're like, yeah, we're not really looking into the XRP ETFs. You know, of course they are. Come on, of course they are. It's like whatever they say they're not doing, I feel like is where you want to put your money. But regardless, dude, holy shit, like, and this is why we diversify, right? Because we research, we keep looking, we keep digging. And I've noticed I'm bouncing back and forth as I get information. Yeah, this could be likely. I don't know about that. Oh shit, okay, this could be likely. You know what I mean? But if we have our hands in a lot of these avenues or assets that we think could protect us, if we're wrong on one and the other one does great, that's perfect, right? And it's like, well, all right, so if they're not going to and first off, why did copper make this move like this? Like, the other metals didn't do that. They didn't just completely freaking drop off the map. Like, I know copper's the most volatile, then silver, then gold, but it's kind of strange that it seems like manipulation. It almost makes me think that this is going to launch. But we'll see. But if they do, let's say they do revalue gold, because the Federal Reserve is talking about it. And there's been a lot of talk about it, back and forth both ways. And the US government has revalued gold a few times. And then a lot of us, like gold and silver bugs, sit here and go, well, the national debt is this. You have this much gold. If you just revalued the gold on your balance sheet to the current price, you could almost pay off the national debt. But then they would be admitting to, you know, what they're doing, which isn't going to look good either way. But yeah, let's say, and this is how it would probably work, right? I'm thinking the US has the gold, the Federal Reserve has a piece of paper that says, you know, it's an IOU, right? The Federal Reserve has a piece of paper that says you own such and such ounces of gold valued at $42 an ounce. Right? And that's how it's been forever. And then the US government goes, wait, we're going to need you to send us those pieces of paper back. we're going to give you a new piece of paper that says that gold that I owe you for the gold is now worth, what is it? $3,335.66. We're going to revalue it to that. So what does that do? Well, what that does is it means the Federal Reserve owes the U.S. government the difference in cash. So the Federal Reserve is going to have to print whatever that difference is between $42 and almost $3,400. So that's going to be a ton of money all of a sudden out of nowhere that just plops into the government's hands that they have to spend. But if they just plow it into the economy, it's going to cause really bad inflation. Really bad inflation. And it like this, how this is all kind of intertwined with the crypto and the fiat and the gold and silver. It's a very interesting topic, how it's all connected and how it's all working and what they're trying to do, and I feel like you should own a little bit of all of it, you know, for entertainment purposes. But I've seen theories about if the U.S. government revalues gold, you know, they're all that money that they get, and instead of pumping it straight into the economy and causing all this inflation, potentially they could pump it all into Bitcoin as like a release valve, so that we don't get that huge rush of inflation. It would go into Bitcoin, which is, you know, becoming the new digital gold, which is going to be the, you know, the U.S.'s strategic reserve of Bitcoin. And all of a sudden, all these other countries start going, whoa, 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 shit. Maybe we don't want gold anymore. Maybe Bitcoin is the new gold. And then now all these other countries start scrambling and bum rushing into Bitcoin and, you know, crypto as a whole. I mean, that could be a possibility. But if they do revalue gold, it is like, I was thinking, I don't know, I'm sitting here thinking about it going, there's been all these people that have been stacking and stacking and stacking gold and silver for years and years and years. And the government knows it, man. They know it because people are trying to protect themselves from what they are doing. And all of a sudden, they're just going to go, yeah, we're not going to confiscate anything. We're just going to bump the price up. Congratulations. Oh, God, I don't know. It's just hard to kind of wrap my head around. And I figured, you know, if they do not revalue, gold, silver might bump up a little bit more, and then probably come back down, which would be great for me because I would love to buy more silver. If the price shoots all the way back down and I have an opportunity to do so, I would definitely do that. But if they do revalue gold, this seems like almost, and this is what I believed in the beginning, was, you know, the 50-year cup and handle pattern. Silver is already made the cup, already made the handle, and it's kind of creeping up towards the rim of the cup, which is right here at $50. So if this comes up to the rim and they revalue or something, this could take off. Because if they're admitting, and I think gold will go higher as well, whatever they revalue gold to, it's just going to send gold even higher. And it's going to drag silver and probably copper with it. Oh, God. And yeah, I do think I think no matter what, it's going to cause some inflation, no matter what they do. They revalue. They get a bunch of money they never had. It's going to cause some inflation. But if they could have a release valve, Bitcoin, strategic reserve, and they can release some of that pressure to not go into inflation, and they're the first, right? Maybe we're the first country into this. And other countries are going, oh shit, you know what I'm talking about? And people start bum rushing into this, and now I'm starting to see where people are getting estimates that Bitcoin will hit 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, because when the entire world is involved and all of this money is just flowing in quick, it could definitely send Bitcoin to insane numbers. And then if XRP and XLM, especially XRP, becomes the new rails of the financial system, like I don't think there's going to be just one. I used to think that it was going to be one crypto, right? There's going to be this crypto race, and the best would survive, and it'd be one, and everything else would die. But I see that's not how it actually works. There's an ecosystem that runs, and there's a few, and they all have different purposes and different things that they do. I do think a lot of them will die off, but yeah, it's kind of it's just a lot to absorb, you know what I mean? So I'm just saying, I was pretty convinced. I almost thought, I did think in the beginning that there was a good potential for a revaluation. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I would love it to be true, but I don't know. And now we have the Fed talking about it. The Fed. I'm like, okay, all right. Maybe, we'll see. I own silver. I own this. I own that. That's good. We need to be in all of it. So, just a quick update. This week, let's take a look at Mr. Ethereum. So I haven't bought any more cryptos. I haven't sold any more cryptos. But I did buy Ethereum perpetual futures long there. Somewhere there. And somewhere there. And then right about here, I was up $1,100 on this. But I noticed I drew this zone. This is the all-time high weekly resistance zone. And I was like, okay, we got a break here. We had sort of a running flat there for a continuation. And now we're getting this ascending channel, which is bearish, into a resistance area. I was like, dude, I gotta take profit. I should pull the profit and wait for the pullback and get back in. And this is something I need work on. I really, truly do need to work on my profit taking timing. Because I was telling myself literally at the top, we're up $1,100. We're getting deep into resistance. It's probably going to pull back. I should take some profits. Let me wait. And this is a common human emotion. Like, it's going to go higher. It's going to go higher. The greed starts to set in. And then boom, just as I thought, I moved to the downside. So as soon as I got my confirmation that we were heading to the downside, I took profit right there on this first candle down. I had a profit of like 700 and change. So we gave up 300 bucks by not, actually no, we gave up 400 bucks by not getting out at the top. And we had 2 clues to tell us to get out, and I still didn't. Lesson learned. I think I've like so far I've never, I can't remember a time that I've regretted taking profits. But nonetheless, I took profit 700 and something bucks, probably like 750 or something like that. And price is wiggling its way down. So I'm trying to figure out now, if we look at, I'm trying to look at other crypto charts to get clues here. So total market cap of all the cryptos minus Bitcoin. You can see if we zoom in right here, kind of hit resistance, pullback, and we broke through with momentum. And now we're coming back for a retest. So it doesn't mean that this may not, and I'm thinking this is probably what will happen, is it's going to drop down again, at least sweeping that candle low, but potentially that one as well. You know, creating a little flag formation here, potentially before it rockets higher. And this is the crazy part, is I want to see the weekly candle close, and that might close as a pin bar, which looks bearish. Right? It's like, oh, it's a pin bar, it's going to go lower. You got to be careful with those, because I've seen strong bull markets on multiple time frames throw pin bars, and it's like, oh shit, oh shit, it went higher. How? But yeah, I feel like that you're going to get candle formations that confuse the hell out of you. That's just, it is what it is. Let's look at ADA. Yeah, I figure, you know, we're about to get a weekly candle close, right? I don't know if this is going to push up a little bit. Close a little more bullish. I want to see the weekly candle close. And then after we get that weekly candle close, I want to see the retracement of the previous week's candle. And then we're going to try to figure out when we get back in. So it's tough. Sometimes you don't see the actual pattern until it's too late. And like I say, Ethereum might come down and sweep that low right there. Not taking out a major swing low, but just taking out one right there. Taking some people out, still bullish. We got this flag formation now. And we crank higher. We've already tested resistance once, pullback, we bust through. So basically, I'm waiting to see if Ethereum will either A, pull down, take that low. If I see that, I'm going to enter there. No questions asked. That I might even put a pending order there right now. Right at that low. And if I don't get filled, if price starts looking bullish and we start getting some momentum back up, you know, into the resistance area, I might try to at least enter back in where I got out or before. you know, either here or before. But for now, I'm going to wait. And just, yeah, I want to see what happens. But yeah, there's a lot of, like, there's so much information out there, and sometimes it is so hard to grab it all, put it all together, and know what the truth is. And you have politicians and all these different people lying to our faces, sending us one way, fake out, hey, we're going this way. Oh, no, we're going that way. You know what I mean? So we're going to do our best. We're going to do our best. Use technical analysis and the information that we have gained to try to make a shit ton of money. See you later.